Vinny from the Investment Club. Today I'm going to be talking about the easiest way to become a millionaire. This is FSKAX, the Fidelity Total Market Index Fund. And for those of you who don't know, an index fund just tracks a broad spectrum of stocks. In this case, it tracks the entire market. So basically what that means is as the stock market goes up, this fund will increase in value. If we look at its short history since 2011, it's continually moved upwards, and there's been a few slight dips, and it always comes back and keeps going up. So when you hear people talking about, oh, we're in a bubble, we're in an all-time high, well, let's look at how many all-time highs there's been in the last not even 10 years. 2012, we're up to $40 here, this fund was. Okay, 1 year later, 45 at another all-time high. As you keep going, each year, for the most part, keeps reaching a new all-time high. Now, let's look at the performance of this fund. So if we go down here, I'm on Yahoo Finance. You can see since its inception, there's been 3, 6, 7, 2020 is not done yet. So let's say 7 years of positive growth and 1 year that it was in the red. Okay, 16% you would have made if you had your money in here in 2012, 33% in 2013, 12%. It goes on and on. Now, let's look at another fund, VTSAX. This is basically the same thing, just Vanguard's version. If you want to learn more about Vanguard and Fidelity, I can do another video on that later. I have accounts with both. They both definitely have their pros. And if we look at Vanguard, which has been around a longer period of time, we go back to 2001. There are some more red years. Obviously, this was the whole dot-com bubble burst, the early 2000s. So even though in the first 2 years you would have lost 30%, if you had just held on and not done anything, you would have made all your money back in the third year. And then for the next 4 years, you'd be up 12, 18, 30, almost 40%. Then it went down again. Obviously, we had a big financial crisis in 08, down 37%. And yet, if you did nothing, by the end of 2010, you'd be back up and you'd be up 10%. This is the importance of buying and holding, having extra cash on the side that you can deploy when there is a major dip, as you can see here. And you can expect, in general, market to yield about 10% annually. So if you just park your money in a total market index fund or an S&P 500 index fund, you can make, on average, about 10% a year. And that's a pretty conservative number. As you can see, 2019, you would have made 30%. 2017, 21%. So overall, you're making a lot of money here. This chart goes further back so we can see again. We look at the maximum in some dips, but it always comes back better than ever. So if you just buy on the dips, you make even more. Now, just Google this compound interest calculator. It pops right up. This can help you figure out how much money you need to put in, how many years it needs to grow to make $1 million. Or whatever your goal is, but I'm just going to use $1 million for today. Let's say you're starting with 0. Let's say every year you add $10,000. You have 5 years to grow, and let's say at 10% interest, you've contributed $50,000, you end up with $67,000. Okay, that's pretty good, better than what a bank gets you, but after 10 years, you're up to $175,000. After 15 years, $350,000. Okay, so you're probably thinking, all right, that's a long time, and then it's going to take another 15 years for my money to double again. Wrong. Let's just do another 5. So from 15 to 20, you're already up to $630,000. The more time passes, the faster your money starts to compound and double, and this is the power of compound interest and why it's so important to get started today. 25 years, you will have your first $1 million. All it takes is putting $10,000, investing it. There's a lot of options for where you can invest, but if you want the most passive approach, I highly recommend market index fund or S&P 500. 40 years, $4.8 million. Now this is where, you might think, okay, well, how does that help me? It's a long time. This is how you start to really build generational wealth that you can pass down to your family and your kids. 5 years, $8 million. And keep in mind, they would not have to do anything. All they have to do is let this money sit there and ride it out. And in 50 years, you would have almost $13 million. You might be thinking, you don't have $10,000 sitting around at the end of the year. Well, you have to start somewhere. Guarantee you that you can find at least 5 to 10% of your income that you can save and invest. You should always pay yourself first. So let's say every paycheck you set up automatic investments, which you can. This is what I do. And automatically, before you have a chance to spend it, you can set it up so that 10% or 5% of your income goes directly into this index fund. Now, going the automatic investment route helps you in two ways. Not only does it make sure that you pay yourself first every month, it also helps you dollar cost average. So by dollar cost averaging, instead of putting that 10,000 here at the peak, let's say you put 1,000, okay, and then another month passed, you put another 1,000 at the low, another 1,000 here, let's say in April, and each month you continue to do that. This minimizes risk. So I like to dollar cost average. And the easiest way I find to do this is to have an automatic transfer come out of my bank account either once a week or once a month. That helps you to avoid, putting all your money in at the wrong time. Look at this chart. So the importance of dollar cost averaging. Let's say you had all this money saved up. Let's say you had $10,000. You put it in at here, February 10th, 2020. Nobody can predict the markets. All of a sudden, within 1 month, you've lost half of that. You haven't actually lost anything until you sell, and a lot of people see this and they start to panic sell. What you should be doing, like Warren Buffett said, be greedy when others are fearful. If you had just bought more down here or just left your money alone, we see the result is it's back to an all-time high about 6 months later. Another way you can safeguard yourself is it's smart to always have some cash on the side so that you can capitalize when there's a slight dip, or in the case of the last few months, a major dip like this. If you had bought in at the lows in March, you'd already be up 50%. If you look here, I own FSKAX, I also own VTSAX, but for simplicity's sake, I just wanted to look at this. So I bought this index fund in my Roth less than 6 months ago, and I'm already up 21.13%. My average cost basis is around $80.85, and it's now $97.94 per share. So in less than 6 months, I've made 21.13%, and this goes to show you, while you can't time the market, this shows the importance of dollar cost averaging, because even though year to date the market is down, because I was buying over an extended period of time, dollar cost averaging in, I was able to buy on some of the dips, and I was able to get higher returns. All right, that's all for today. I'll see you guys next time. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or comments on index fund investing. I'll see you next time.